Scientists from 25 countries and regions are gathering in Shanghai for in-depth discussions at the ongoing 6th World Laureates Forum. Our anchor Guan talked to Nobel Prize-winning economist Thomas Sargent to get his thoughts over trade disputes and tech competition between the US and China. Take a listen.
In the past 3 years, new trade barriers has tripled, according to IMF, to nearly 3,000 last year.
Yeah.
How would this fragmentation and trade restrictions impact our growth and international collaboration?
You put in trade barriers. One reason you do it is it's not geopolitics. It's because some people in your country can't compete internationally, and they go to the government to try to get protection, to protect local monopolies. That's always, in my own country, that was always a force. Second half of the 20th century, it was a force that was dominated by other interests. But it's actually come back. When the government puts on quotas and trade and subsidies, it makes a whole bunch of people, businessmen who should be producing things and competing, instead they devote a lot of resources to go to the government to try to get a favor. And, it's distorting markets, and it helps themselves at the cost of some of the citizens in their own country.
One thing China is concerned about is the U.S. restriction on the semiconductors to China.
Yeah.
China be very deeply concerned about this because
Me too.
the United States says it is to prevent military use for national security concerns, but it is not very convincing to China. What is your take?
I don't like it, and I think it's put it this way. I actually think it's in U.S. interest to have. Look, China's a big market for these chips. The Intel company and the NVIDIA company, they don't want these restrictions, and they've lobbied against it. Somebody's lobbied in favor of it. But I don't think it's in those companies' interests. China has lots of really good engineers. And if the United States completely cuts China off from chips, they're not going to be cut off, for more than, 3, 5, 10 years maximum. And then they're going to be building chips that are better, that are as good or different or better than our chips. And so I think we should be thinking longer ahead. We cannot stop. The history of trying to stop technologies like that, when the other country has lots of really good engineers, you can't stop it permanently. I'm not a national security expert, and I do know sometimes people say national security, and it's not what they really mean. It's hypocrisy. It's like, I want to protect the local. I want to protect the local monopoly. I don't want to compete. But the sad thing is that this is one thing the U.S. does well, and